Alright, we are looking for a shoe, which is typically the case when you can only find one. LOL. This happens to be Shu's house. I know that because I've played this game before. In fact, I've played it a bunch of times. And Nanami's like, hey, Apple, are you and Shu, do you have a history of banging or something? And that's not exactly what she asks, but that's kind of what's implied. So we're in his, he has a waiting room apparently, which is something, that's fuck you money right there. Like what? That's something you have at a doctor's office. Like, are you so busy with strategy stuff? Oh, you know what though? He does trading, so that could make sense. So it's still fuck you money, but it actually does make sense. So Shu is like obviously aware of the climate of war and politics, and so Shu's like, yeah, I go ahead and tell me, but I know what you're here for. And Shu's like, yep, that's what I figured. Anyways, Luca Blight's gonna kill everybody, but I'm not gonna do that. Which is funny because typically in this game, if you just like, hey, do you want to join my team for war? Everyone goes, okay. But Shu is like, no, here's the thing. War is good for money. For trading specifically. And I mean, money's a weird way to put it. But anyways, Shu is saying he knows Luca Blight's a monster and he's just going to let it slide. Apple is very angry about it. Apple has a strong sense of justice. The Master expelled me. Actually, Shu is a really small part. Like, he doesn't have a face, but there's a little character named Shu walking around the school when you recruit Apple. I'm like 80% sure. I might have made that up, but I think there's a little black-haired kid named Shu. Alright, they studied tactics together. I'm sure that means Final Fantasy tactics. And so she's worried about his genius ending up in the wrong hands. They were so important to me. And you just cut corners here and said, let's see if we can get him to change his mind. So we need to get more information. The first thing you want to do in any situation like that is talk to the town Gumshoe? Gumshoe, definitely. But he's busy right now, so I know what happens. You go into this cafe and you're supposed to go around and talk to everybody, but really you can just walk back out. And guess what? Shu is like, ugh, rude. Which pretty clearly Shu must have left the house like 30 seconds after we did. So the problem is we were probably asking him on an empty stomach. This part I really like because he's like, are you willing to get down on your knees and beg? And Apple is, she's not a proud woman, apparently. And you can say stop it, Apple, but she's going to do it anyways. It kind of looks like she's blowing him here, too, if you use your imagination. Like, she's too far. Doesn't really make sense, but when I played this as a kid, I was like, oh, yeah. So it more looks like she's making out with him and hovering like a vampire. So she did what he asked, and Shu is just like, grr, pathetic. I'm not thirsty anymore. Oh, he was wanting to get drunk. I like this exchange here, too. Have you lost your pride? And saying that she should be ashamed, but Apple, to her credit, says you should be ashamed. So, yeah, like, she's not happy to get on and beg like a dog, but she can throw away her vainful pride. That's what she learned from Matthew, which I don't remember Matthew teaching any lessons like that. Except, if you want to get real broad here, Matthew had like a anything to win kind of mentality. Matthew was pretty sneaky and fun, like as a strategist, but Shu's the man. So you have to basically agree. Again, just save the time of asking again. So now is when you gotta go see the Gumshoe. Or PI. I don't know, is a gumshoe? I think a gumshoe just refers to a young investigator. So yeah, Richmond looks pretty young. So he's like, oh, I know who you are, and he named everybody because he's the greatest private eye in Rabbit Town. Which, if you look around, there's probably like 50 people in Rabbit Town. So it's like, yeah, I think you're the only one. There's certainly no stores that are a front for this. But anyways, 1,500 potch. I don't think you can negotiate with him, so you just say, please do it. Plus, like most Americans, I'm terrified to negotiate because, you know, what if they just walk away and I don't get what I need? What if the game ends because Richmond said, if you say no, that's too pricey, and Richmond's like, well, all right, I don't want to deal with stingy people, and then you just can't get shoe, and then you lose the war right away. All right, apparently they have great soup at the inn. I gotta try this. I actually went to Hibachi earlier, and I was a little bit disenchanted. They had their soup, and I heard the guy ask, oh, is this my so-and-so soup? And he goes, oh, no, this is, it's chicken broth. So it's just like chicken broth with, like, mushrooms floating in it, like a half of a mushroom collectively. Oh, I just saw a typo. Sorry I didn't draw attention to it in time. She said about instead of about. And at this point, you're like, what happened? Did I black out? And it's like, well, sort of. Everyone's asleep until... Geez, Richmond, I was starting to look like a jerk. Yeah, he led a match. He says it was a success. A success. How did you get in here? Oh, I don't know. None of the doors are ever locked in this game, ever. Also, it's the middle of the night, and NicCage is just standing at a table. It's not even like he's laying on the floor. What a sociopath. Alright, Apple is effectively sleep-talking right now. And Richmond is like, hey, so Shu is avoiding you. There's an important trade tomorrow night. And Shu has to be there. So, yeah, he's telling us to wait at the bridge, and we'll be able to jump him. So the reason I say Shu was, Apple was sleep-talking is she's like, let's go to the bridge, and Apple's like, what? So, yeah, she wasn't awake for that, apparently. She's a don't talk to me before coffee person. The best kind of person. Oh, by the way, you probably were like, hey, are you going to talk to that guy? And I think right now he's not going to play ball. Like, I think I'm in a non-recruit mode. I basically have to corner him, and it's because I'm doing this on a phone, so it's like, it's pretty frustrating. Ah, come on. What? It's not so bad in games like this, but when I try to play, like I tried playing Zelda, on the original Nintendo. No wonder I'm not going to catch him in a real race. Anyways, when I tried to play on regular Nintendo, it was like so frustrating. I died after I was just taking evasive maneuvers and I still got killed. Okay, no one will take me seriously. Yeah, okay, I can't recruit right now, so... I mean, I might be able to, but I definitely can't recruit him. I can go to the east, and if I can get Templeton, then that'll show that it's just not... I'm not ready to get Stallion yet. Alright, so we're going to wait this bridge. Apple's like, yeah, this is all new to me. I don't know what happened. Apparently it's a cold time of year, and everyone's dressing... Well, except Apple has a little bit of a shawl on it. I don't know what that is. It's not a shawl. It looks a little too tight in the waist. Alright, so it's like, hey, now that you see we're here, maybe you'll change your mind. So, it looks like this trade is not going to happen because, like, it was such an important trade, but Shu is, like, going to have this little conversation, and he's going to leave, which is like, weren't you supposed to do an important trade? Did you get blown off? Alright, he says it's a gold coin. It shines like it's a silver coin, but whatever. So he throws it in the river. You hear a plunk. And Shu says, I'll join your side if you find that coin. Apparently it's rare enough in Tauren Republic, so no one's going to have that on hand, more than likely. So, yeah. Nanami's saying we'll never find that coin. Maybe Victor's dumbass came up with a plan. Victor's not really dumb. He's just not a brilliant strategist. Alright, so we gotta find a way to stop the flow of the water. This guy seems like he's in charge of that. What do you kids want? Landlubbers? Dude, you work at a bridge. What are you calling me landlubber for? Alright, so you just gotta say, can you open the sluice gate? Alright, and he says it's past your bedtime, kid. We just woke up. It's clearly like 10 in the morning. Unless we waited like 12 hours or something at the bridge. And he's talking about spanking this little girl, a little weird. Apple's saying, like, I don't care. You can beat me up if you want as long as you open the gate. And this dude named Amada shows up who has a butthole for a chin. That's not a butthole, but there's clearly a butthole in there. There's no way there's not. So, these kids are up to funny stuff again, huh? What do you mean again? We've never met. This might be the first funny thing I've ever done in my life. I hope no one watching this is like, oh, I'm still waiting for the first one. That would break my heart. Alright, so the sluice gate. So yeah, can you just close it for a night? A day, a night, whatever. Sorry, little lady, I can't close the sluice gate. So yeah, she's saying many people's lives will, if we don't stop the Highland Army. He's like, what does this have to do with the Highland Army? But you can show you're serious by saying, please. Wow, you're really serious. Sometimes the language in this, I know I've talked about this before, but like there was translation issues where the team that worked on this was really struggling at times. So it kind of shows with stuff like that. And he's like, all right, child, if you can hang with me in a fight. All right, so a little bit weird for a grown man to, I assume that NicCage is like 17 or something. I don't know, he might be like 25. Here I go. That sounds like Wild Attack. And this part of the game is sort of like Rock, Paper, Scissors. This part definitely is. If they try oh man. It ain't over yet. He's either gonna attack or Wild Attack. I can take care of him either way with an attack. Wild Attack would have technically been a better choice, but considering I have it on the ropes, it didn't matter either way. Amada is not weak, by the way. It's just because I went north earlier than I was supposed to, and I probably have 15 levels on him. Amada's like I would say an above average fighter in the scheme of this game. He's above average, but I also think he's a medium or mid-range, which makes him kind of useful. Like, he's pretty strong, considering he doesn't have to stand in the front row. So it's almost like if NicCage had less technique and less magic, you get Amada. He's fine, he's fine. As you can see, he just whooped his ass. That was a flawless victory. Don't apologize. I just beat up a guy that was pretty muscular and 10 years older than me, so I feel great. Alright, this water's pretty cold. You guys think later in the game I'll remember to check Richmond's age by using... No, Amada's age by using Richmond, because he can do that for you. Could also look it up. I love that they're like, oh, this is really important. We'll watch you get in there. It doesn't seem on brand for either of them to just watch Apple do it. So I think if you say I'll see you later and Nanami's like, no, we're gonna help, obviously. I know either way, you end up in the water. And Nanami earlier said, we'll never find it. And she's like, let me elaborate. We'll never find it because he switched it at the last second for a pebble. So there's no coin in here. If anything, you'll find a pebble. Man replaced it with a stone just before he threw it. Yep. So, that's not true. I'll just die of hypothermia to show you it's not true. That apple's pretty stubborn. I'm pretty sure that fight with Amada is the only fight we're going to see in this video. I'm just going to tell you that now. You're probably 16 minutes in, waiting for action. Nip it in the bud. I hope someone got that musical reference. By someone, I mean my friend Joe that watches. Alright, so believe it or not, Nanami's dumbass was wrong. Or was she? It's heavily implied that she wasn't wrong, because, you know, you definitely hear him throw it. There's a plink when it hits the water, so he threw something. And Shu is gonna, after they have this little conversation, I love that he went into the water that's cold. Apparently, they talk about it being cold water instead of them getting out. Yes, the promise. Alright, so anyways. You're a strong woman, and I got Matthew's brain, but I have his skin. It's in a suitcase in my... It's actually part of the suitcase is made of his skin. I don't know where that joke came from, but it was a pretty gross one. You got his brain, but I have his fingernails. Just keep rolling with that gross joke. Can you show me that coin? That rune on your hand. Oh, game changer. Yep, everyone knows NicCage apparently. And Nanami keeps getting surprised that they have a celebrity grandfather. Alright, so yeah, there's a special meaning with Master Genkaku. So the most important thing right now is defeating Solon G. Yeah, so he's like, dude, that rune on your hand changes everything. I'm not a tattoo person, but I've thought about getting a tattoo of a rune on my hand. But apparently hand tattoos are super painful, and there's no way to really hide that, so I would never do it. But, you know, just saying. This coin. Wait a second. Rich men threw it in. That's what I said. That's what I was talking about. It was heavily implied. So, like, him throwing that coin in a river changed the fate of the war. No big deal. Richmond low-key is one of the most important people in the game based on throwing a coin in the water. Okay. Oh, you know what? Real quick, let me just... I'm going to see if I can talk to... Oh, Stallion. Bum, 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 bum. I sort of need to corner him. Nope. Okay, yeah, I still can't recruit him. I will head east and... Head east, young woman. Wait, old woman. Because I was trying to do the opposite of head west, young man. I don't know what that's from. It might be a poem. Walt Whitman? God, I don't know. That would be a crazy coincidence if that was correct. Head west, young man. I'm not going to Google it while I'm doing this, but I'm pretty curious. Oh yeah, I forgot it's just the two of them. I'm still letting these woodpeckers go. Still handling those peckers real loosely, you know what I'm saying? 4 of them. And this brother and sister can... I'm going to stop there. It's getting gross. Okay, let's see if we can... Yeah, cool. Alright, so this is Templeton. Spelled wrong because of character limitation. Which is hard to feel bad for them. They set up the character limit. Alright. Templeton's like, I'm just trying to fix my map. And it's like... You know what? You can see it's burned down. What do you want? Which is how I look at it. But really, I get the attention to detail, so good for him. Actually, I don't know if Templeton's a boy or girl. So, Templeton, you guys got kicked out of here? Yeah, Luca Blight came and murdered a bunch of people. So, yeah, we got kicked out. So you can be quite a chatty Cathy and say, map? All right, Templeton's like, I gotta go. And it's like, I gotta follow you, dog. I gotta see what your map life's all about. All right. I think if I encounter the rabbits, I would fight them. But I think they're only in the mountains. I may be wrong. Charles Barkley wrote a book called I May Be Wrong, But I Doubt It. And I read it when I was like 21. I thought it was great, but like it's probably really stupid. It's just when you're like, it was like probably the 50th book I've ever read, or I don't know, maybe 100th, but still, like impressionable. Okay, so we're here at Toto Village, and I'm here to bless the rains of Africa, because that band's name is Toto. Sorry if I made a Toto joke like 4 months ago when I started these. Alright. I didn't say I was throwing the fort. I said map? Alright, yeah, we're fighting the Highland Army. Alright, Templeton's gonna fight with me, which means give us a map. It's a pretty light contribution. That's not fully true. Templeton is available in the war scenario, but he kind of sucks. He's not the worst, but he's one of the worst. And now we have a map. Here's a map. There. I did my part for the 108 Destiny. For those of you that don't know, which I've probably mentioned a little bit, the recruiting in this game, you're supposed to get the 108 Stars of Destiny. And I think they do that with all the Suikoden games. That would be weird if later on they were like, you know what, let's just make it the 58 rhombuses of magic. Nah, they don't do that. I'm sure of it. Alright, so just gonna keep letting them go. I'll try to talk to Stallion again, but I don't think it's gonna do anything. I have recruited 2 people, if you count Shu. I don't know that he's fully in my group yet. I can't use Luke, like Luke keeps track of that. He's got his tablets. Like a psycho, he just writes everyone's name on these tablets, which is also weird because, like, that's not really what's happening. Like, these are just the 108 people that NicCage likes the most. Like, there's people out there fighting a war. It's just these are people that are special to him. Okay, Dark Bunny, I'll let you go. It's crazy. They're so much further in the game, and there's still a let them go situation. Let off easily, even. South Window is probably my... Like, it's kind of nothing special, South Window, but it's probably my favorite city in this game. No, Two Rivers. Two Rivers is pretty great. But I'll say on this part of the map, South Window. No, North Window. That's where my castle is. But out of the 4 places, it's easily my second favorite. But then again, that one place has the blacksmith. So, yeah, I guess I don't like South Window. I take it all back. All right, earlier I was talking about having too many things. Oh, Barbara's not here. What an old whore. I don't think she's actually that old. She just is always looking like she's yelling something. I don't have an elevator like a peasant. And we are going to go to the war room. Might as well save it. I think I saved last time too. I'm a regular saving machine. Wow, I can't believe I've done over 7 hours of this. Yeah, 7:17 and 26 seconds, no less. All right, I'm going to stop here, and next time we're going to go to war, baby.